Hi, Russell Mark here from Go Shooting. Today I want to talk to you about shot shells and the recoil that's associated with them. Now, each clay target discipline will have their own rules regarding the shot size and the amount of shot. For instance, in the Olympic Games, you're only allowed to use 24 grams of shot. In the American domestic disciplines, 32 grams is the limit. In Australia, New Zealand and a lot of the European countries that shoot down the line or sporting clays, for the most part 28 grams of shot is the maximum payload. Now, as a guide, I believe for 24 gram loads, no more than 1350 feet a second is perfect. I couldn't tell you how many Olympic medals have been won over the last 2 decades with ammunition of that speed or even less. For 28 gram loads at distances 30, 35 meters, 1200 feet a second, even 1250 is great. If you're looking at a little longer with some of the sporting clay shots, maybe 1300 feet a second is your maximum. And interestingly, in the United States, for their domestic trap discipline, the most popular load off 16 yards, which is their common mark distance, is only 1150 feet per second. Now, these distances I'm talking about with velocity, again, are measured 1 meter out from the end of the barrel. That's a standard that you need to use when you're comparing different velocity loads. Often, people quote velocities that are measured right at the barrel. Now, that will increase the velocity by over 100 feet per second when that's used as a measurement. Now, I would be wary of any manufacturer that claims they can produce a target shot shell that goes faster than the speed of light. It's traveling at supersonic speeds, yet it has less recoil than any other shot shell you've ever tested before. Now, back in the 1600s, there was this smart guy called Isaac Newton. Yeah, I know he was British, but he was still smart. And he thought up a mathematical equation which he called his third law. And in that equation, he worked out that for every applied force, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So let's cut to the chase here. In essence, Newton's law is saying that the only variables in this mathematical equation of recoil are the weight of the shotgun, the amount of shot in your shot shell, which in this case it's 24 grams, and the other variable is the speed that you're pushing that payload out of the end of your barrel. So that means the faster you're pushing the shot that way, the harder it's pushing back against your shoulder. There are no other variables. This, of course, is where the barroom arguments start between actual recoil and perceived recoil. They are two very, very different things. So what constitutes good ammunition? Well, from my experience, it comes down to the quality of the shot. You cannot beat good, hard, round lead shot pellets. And if you're looking at breaking targets at distance, they mix in a chemical up to 5% called antimony. That really makes the shot even harder again. It can be expensive, but I'd rather pay for good quality shot than increased velocity any day of the week. Now, here's the shot of a 24 gram competition load with 5% antimony that Winchester made back in the 90s. Sadly, it's not made anymore, but see how perfectly round that is? Now, if the shot that you're using is about as round as the wheels on Fred Flintstone's car, then give it to someone you hate for Christmas. Lauren's gonna hate all this shot on the floor. If you're wanting to test your favourite ammunition, then go to a pattern board and put a piece of paper over it. Go back 40 yards, put in at least an improved modified choke, fire 1 shot at that piece of paper. Take the paper down, count the amount of pellet strikes on the paper, then work out the centre of that shot pattern. From that centre, draw a 30-inch circle, then count the amount of strikes inside that circle. Then you'll be able to calculate a percentage. Then go and find some ammunition that you're wanting to test or maybe change to. Do the same process. See if it gets a better percentage inside that shot pattern. It's really one of the best ways I know how to compare ammunition. I hope this short little tutorial on ammunition and recoil was of some help. As always, we look forward to seeing you at a Go Shooting range really soon.